𝐒𝐏𝐿, I think. Yeah.
But he had people, and the Lagos, indigenous Lagos people were at his throat. People like 𝐔𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐍𝐒.
So where do you stand on the local government debate, local government autonomy? Because it's coming at a time when the current AGF has gone to the Supreme Court to seek clarification on the matter and also prevent the state governors from handling the local government funds the way they're handling it presently. So as a former governor, where do you stand on this whole debate?
The local governments should be given their fund allocation direct to the local government.
Financial autonomy.
You see, those people who are oppressing the local government, those governors are oppressing the local government, who are the same people or in the same seat where, shall I say, they did not agree that there should be a state of emergency in the Western region. And they didn't reckon with the local government at any stage. Local government is very important in the history of politics of Nigeria. When the British started the last 5 years to independence, when they set up the regional governments, you remember the Ministry of Local Government, there were some ministries which they didn't give the Nigerian holders. They didn't give finance, what do you call it again? Defense. They were kept by the British. But West, North, and East, they were given the head of the government. They called them leaders of government business and minister of local government. The first minister of local government in this Western Nigeria was Obafemi Awolowo, and he was not disturbed. The minister in the north was Sardauna, and Zik had to go back to after that debacle of February 6, 1952, he had to fuel some crisis, which was, he was in Lagos. He was second in the election in Lagos, and they needed two people from Lagos to the federal, and the action group people, they organized skillfully against him. Being I don't remember all those who want him to be sent to the
federal house.
Everybody voted for him. Nnamdi Azikiwe only the NCNC. Adeleke Adedoyin, who was third in the election. So they got all five. Rotimi Williams was number 6. So after that debacle, Zik made up his mind to retaliate and so on, which he succeeded in doing. There was a triple handshake.
Yeah.
That triple handshake was a fraudulent one. And I would not believed in it, that bygone was already bygone. So local government has been very important.
Yeah. And as I said, you were a governor for just a few months, and many people say that the military coup took away what would have been a very impactful leadership for the people of Oyo State at that time, given the trajectory that the state was on under your leadership. When we got here, you were showing us a book written by the former governor, Ijaodola Calabar, talking about the water project that you embarked upon at the time. So talk to us about that, and then give us a sense of your assessment of the current governor, who is already in his 5th year as the governor of the state. I'm talking about Governor Seyi Makinde. How would you assess him? And then talk about your landmark achievement in those few months that you were in power, the achievement you were able to make at the time.
There's an issue there about, there's a mystery there. As Winston Churchill would say, the people in judging Makinde, they judge him like his predecessors. They tend to behave in a weird way in their second term. And then they want to go to the Senate. But their performance, winners take all, in their second term is very ruthless and dangerous. I think the chief of staff at the federal level at present yes, was Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Yes, he was.
Then the Secretary to the Government of the Federation was a governor
In Benue.
of Benue. And then Pius and Impious was Secretary to the Government.
At some point, he was in the Senate as well at some
He
point.
was a senator.
Yes.
And then he was, so inside that, there's a cryptic observation
Of Makende's,
yes,
Okay.
that he's behaving like a governor in his second term, which,
Oh, he's behaving like a governor in his second term. So what happened in the first term? He didn't behave like a governor.
he was serving the people and so on.
So in the second
I'm
term,
a victim of his second term.
you're a victim.
I'm a victim because as I am now, you are seeing the remnants of me. I'm entitled to medical treatment. And Makinde has been tossing up and down. I have to take my begging bowl to some of my old schoolmates and so on to pay my medical fees. I find it I'm a guinea pig.
I think I like the way you've put it. First term is serve the people. Second term is behaving like a governor.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about your few months in office and what you're able to do within such a short time as governor of the state. Yes.
I had a very good commissioner for finance, that's Dr. Sakabalogun.
Yeah.
He and I had a nickname, 𝐒𝐲𝐿. We are very poor people, but we are called 𝐒𝐲𝐿. I don't have a plot of land in Abuja. I don't have in Lagos, and I don't have in England or any country abroad. But the people here have been serving the Western Region headquarters Ibadan, Western State headquarters Ibadan, Old Oyo State headquarters Ibadan, New Oyo State headquarters Ibadan. And cumulatively, what I've done, merits my being taken care of, as you know, as due to their own people. Sheikh Makinde has never been in this house. He goes to Adeojo's house, which is a little bit...
So you feel neglected?
I am neglected. If one did not start with a lot of, what should I say, a lot of confidence, one should not even leave. I had some brain injury. It doesn't stop me from doing mathematics.
Yeah.
My right eye, I see nothing with it. My right leg, the physiotherapist had just left. And, but as I said to my staff, my driver is in the hospital. People cannot eat, drink, or move around with the kind of salaries they are paid, and the middle class is being wiped out. They have been
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go back a little as we prepare to wrap up the conversation. You were, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, and as you said earlier, that the British understood how important it was to handle local government. That's where they left it for the indigenous people, so to say.
For the leaders.
Yes, for the leaders at that time. So what was it like holding that ministry, given the importance, accorded to the traditional institution at that time, and looking at what is happening now? Some say the traditional institution is being politicized, the way governors are handling how they depose or install a traditional ruler. Would you say yes? It's almost everywhere. Do you think it's being politicized compared to what it was? The people say traditional school has lost that, respect it used to have in those days.
Sure, you can't dramatize it. Get up.
Yes, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo at that event was here in Oyo State. Yes. Where he told them that, in the presence of a president, you get up and sit down. Yeah. So do you think it's being disrespected? That's true.
Yes. They are regarded as local government employees. About 10 weeks ago, the Olubade of Ibadan and I had applications to the governor. We haven't seen the results to take us abroad for medical treatment. The Olubade then decided to take a rest in usage.
You mean the one who just joined his ancestors?
Yes. And he was, incidentally, in terms of politics, he was the MPP candidate in 1983.
Wow. So he was your opponent then?
He was my opponent. He saw my generator room. He said a polling booth had been built there. So I called him. And I did very... So the thing is, we made sure that we were fair and honest.
With how you handle traditional institutions at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
That was an outstanding problem. Who is superior? Alaafin of Oyo
or Ooni of Ife?
Or Ooni of Ife. I tell you the inner workings of the cabinet. I asked people to put up their hands. Who are in support of Alaafin? They put up their hands. Who are in support of Ife? Ooni of Ife. So, I asked each side to get together 4 or 5 hours at a time, each of the 2 sides, to submit a paper to me in 3 days to say who they think it should be. And then I wove the thing around. The people who are pro-Alaafin are mostly the people from Oyo, Ibadan. Then the people who favor the Ooni, the people from Ife, Modakeke and so on. And I read the things, marked them like
answer scripts.
And then I took a decision to make a broadcast on 2nd of December, 1983. That pamphlet, I can't lay hands on it now, but you, as an astute and intelligent journalist as you are now, you find it very interesting to read. The NCNC-oriented people chose the Alaafin for you, and the others chose the... But what I found in the history of the supremacy, which caused the creation of
Osun State,
was that from one of Marjorie Parham's books, The Journey Through Nigeria, 1932, from that book, the Alaafin was the king of the Yorubas. The Ooni was the
spiritual head,
just like the king or queen of England and the Archbishop of
Canterbury.
Yes, and that's the relationship.
So what is lacking in the present-day governors? And now they've been handing this. One king is deposed today, another one is installed. There is drama everywhere. How should the governors handle these issues better? Because they are the ones who install or depose, and they have the sole power.
No, they don't have a deep understanding. From that letter of Raymond Zat to me, I insisted on the declaration being followed to the letter. One, I go to the ministry. There's a template for a 3-pronged template for deciding chieftaincy issue, filling of vacancies. There is the template 1, nomination; 2, appointment by kingmakers; 3, the approval of government.
And that's the last of the chain.
Yes, that's what it is. And there's always a clause by the action group, government, section 21, notwithstanding that an appointment in it has been made in accordance with this law and the approved and registered declaration, the government may nevertheless approve or disapprove of this appointment in the interest, or set aside the said appointment in the interest of order, peace, and good government. Even though you
So there was that clause.
Yes. After 21 days, you must give. But you see, like Oyo State now, Ladoja is on top of his game. He has been governor of Oyo State. And if God wills, he is the next in rank to the Olubadan. Now.
He's been senator, he's been governor, you know.
He's been senator, he's been governor.
Yes.
And the other people are traveling in the opposite direction. Governors looking forward to senator, their seat.
Yeah.
He's tested it all.
Coming back home.
Yes. So, Mawadi.
So the governors have to be more tactful in how they handle.
They have to be serious. You know, they have to be serious. For example, in Ibadan, they have to use the 1957 declaration. Ajimabi tried to do another one, but he failed. And the declaration must be approved and registered.
Okay, because as I said, we're wrapping. I just want to get your thoughts on I think you mentioned it earlier in your submission, the national anthem being reverted to Nigeria We Hail Thee. I listened to some arguments. They say it's very crucial that it's going to reawaken national consciousness, you know, at a time when there is agitation for secession in different parts of the country. We heard some weeks ago those who invaded the State of Assembly here wanting to declare a Yoruba Republic, and then the IPOB in the southeast as well. Do you think the national anthem has any role in whatsoever in reviving the national consciousness and quelling agitation for secession?
I don't think it's much. It's as important as they make it. I don't think so. And I wish to ignore that question.
Okay, so but how do we address the feeling of marginalization that is fueling all of this agitation that we're seeing, you know, different groups wanting to break away from the country? How do we address this feeling?
The country actually is a pastiche glued together in 1914 by the amalgamation of northern and southern Nigeria. Even Gawan said Nigeria is a geographical expression.
I think I will also express that sentiment.
But many countries are a pastiche that have been, look at Yugoslavia, look at Indonesia, look at Republic France, Deutschland. I think what is more important is that we should have, and there are some people in the military as well as civilian, we should have a change of heart. We should have a change of heart in regard to the country. I don't think the anthem or the flag
has any role whatsoever.
I have any significant role. The problems now are not flag and music oriented.
Well,
the problem now are things like security, food, economic, problems. For example, now there's a lot of kidnapping, one is not sure of safety. The other day, Vodejo sent some people from Lagos to Ibadan, and they are going back, they were kidnapped. You remember that? Whereas in our days, one could go to Cotonou or go anywhere with and stop and those
with no security escorts.
No security. Even as private persons, life is the same in. I don't know what to say. Other than that,
yes,
the fault is in us.
Not in our stars.
Not in our stars.
Yes, if you just joined us, it's the podium on 32 FM 94.9. Our guest today is Dr. Victor Olunloyo, former governor of Oyo State. He's a mathematician, an engineer. He's left his mark across different spheres of life. It's been a very, enlightening, informative, and intriguing conversation, I should say. having you here with us on the podium, and thank you for letting us into your home. It's very historic, as you told us before we started this interview session. As we wrap up, I just want to ask you, as a politician, as a leader, who do you think out of your followers or maybe your offsprings that will be living up your legacy and in terms of what you believe in as a politician?
Well, I would like to leave my children out of it. Mm-hmm. Although some of them are already primed.
To join politics?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they are already primed. And they want to do novel things. Mm. I'm a natural successor in Ibadan to 𝐒𝐏𝐾𝐑. But that role will be consummated by my children. And I tell them all the time that they should remember the son of whom they are. Rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Victor Oluloya, for joining us on the podium. As I say, we can continue this conversation because you have a very broad resume and a very expansive wealth of knowledge. It's been most intriguing learning from you and having you on this platform today. Thank you for joining us on the podium. Yes, what a very interesting conversation with Dr. Victor Oluloya. We'll take another commercial break now. When we get back, we'll be switching gears on the conversation. We have our analyst standing by. We'll also be moving on to another issue on the podium. Don't go away.
My baby is 6 months old.
Oh my! 6 months old? Wow! Now your baby needs more than breast milk. It's time to introduce mashed meals. In addition to breast milk, begin to give your baby mashed meals that contain at least one item from each of these 5 food groups: eggs, fish or meat, fruits and vegetables, oils, beans, groundnuts, soya or millet, rice, potato, maize or yam. From 6 months. In addition to breast milk, your baby needs this combination of food types to grow healthy. This message is from the Anrin Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
For the top 10 banging songs across Nigeria,
top 10 super songs across Africa,
the Top 10 Countdown is your show.
Saturdays 12 to 1 p.m. with 𝐷𝐾𝐒 and King Kenny.
Láti dènà àrùn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru àti àrùn mìíràn, pàápàá nínú àwọn ọmọdé, fọ ọwọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àtomi tó ń dà ṣooro. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, tó o bá lo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ tán, lẹ́yìn tó o bá ti ṣàndí fọ́mọ tán, kó o tó ṣe oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ tàbí kó o tó fún un lóúnjẹ. Àti pé tí ọmọ rẹ bá ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru, fún un ní oògùn oníwóró zinc lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ àti ORS ní wákàtí mẹ́rin tàbí kí ẹ máa fún díẹ̀díẹ̀ nínú ife. Èyí á jẹ́ kọ́mọ rẹ lè ní ìdápadà omi ara àtokun. Bákan náà, yọjú sílé iṣẹ́ ètò ìlera tó bá súnmọ́ ọ jùlọ láti gba ìtọ́jú fọ́mọ tó ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkànṣe iṣẹ́ Anrin, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Ẹ̀yin fans mi. It's okay. Ẹ lọ sórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ní 32FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ àsáfù. It's okay.
Congratulations! Do not waste time. Put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery to give that first yellowish milk colostrum. Colostrum has all the important nutrients your baby needs to start a healthy life. Colostrum also helps to protect your baby against diseases. Remember, put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery. This message is from the Anrin Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
bá a ṣe láwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ dókítà tíṣẹ́yé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la láwọn àwòrán àṣà mẹkáníìkì GMF Auto Services Limited. Bóyá ẹ̀ tí ìdébẹ̀ wò ní ọ̀jẹ̀ mọ̀ pọ́nmọ́nàmọ́pa. Àwọn erin lákàtàbù oníṣẹ́ ni ó diagnose mọ́tò yín kẹ́sẹ́ bí wọ́n ti máa fẹnu fapò sórí carburetor. Wait and get ni kò ní lọ kábọ̀ tí machine bá ti ń discover problem. Láàmú fix ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ kan torí gbogbo original spare part ń bẹ ńlẹ̀ bíbá. Àwọn aláràlù àtàwọn aláràtúntà gan tó wá ń kó lọ́pọ̀ yanturu. Ṣé rí i pé gbogbo ń tẹ́ fẹ́ lójú kan ló wà?
Yes, so our services, the consultancy, diagnosis, key programming, transmission repair, maintenance, spare part sales, plus plenty ogbonge things. GMF Auto Services Limited. Day for number 3, Oni Lane, beside White House Hotel, behind Bros High School, Labawo, Ogunpa, Ibadan.
ẹ kọ́ pé wọ́n lórí aago náà kẹ́ ẹ mọ bó ṣe wà sí 08066348917 08066348917 tó o bá fẹ́ kẹ́mi ọkọ̀ rí ogun GMF ni ó yàn láàyò.
To prevent diarrhea and other diseases, especially in children, wash your hands with soap under running water, particularly after using the toilet. After cleaning your baby's bum, before preparing your baby's food, and before and after feeding your baby. If your child has diarrhea, give zinc tablets once a day, plus ORS every 4 hours, or frequently in small sips from a cup, so that your child will replenish lost nutrients and regain strength. Also, visit the nearest health facility to get treatment for diarrhea. This message is from the ANRIN Project, or your state's Ministry of Health.
32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. The podium on 32 FM 94.9, your laughter station. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, we're live on Facebook, 32 FM 949 Fenya. We're also live on YouTube via the same handle. Drop your comment, your reaction to the conversation so far. So we'll switch gears now from our discussion with Dr. Victor Olunloyo to another burning issue. 25 students of the Ijaodola University in Oyo State were on Wednesday arraigned before the Chief Magistrate Court in connection with the murder of one Alex Timileyin, a student who was beaten to death by his colleagues for allegedly stealing a mobile phone. Now, the student, aged between 18 and 34, have been remanded in prison until July 8th pending trial. An activist from the Security Kingdom in Warri Kingdom, Delta State, identified as Lord of Warri, disclosed development on X, formerly known as Twitter. If you remember, Timileyin was beaten to death inside a hostel in the school premises by a group of other students for allegedly stealing a mobile phone. Now, the activist is a relative of the deceased, had earlier petitioned the state governor, urging the governor to ensure that those behind the murder are brought to justice. Now, in the same vein, some concerned Niger Delta youth converged in Ibadan on Thursday, demanding the closure of Ijaodola University Oyo following the death of Prince Jeffrey Akol, a student of the school. Addressing journalists, the South youth accused the state government and the school authorities for ignoring and failing to carry the family of the deceased along in the findings so far. So in this report by Gbolabu from Moscow, she does an x-ray of the update regarding the unfortunate incident in that school. Take a listen.
On May the 26th, tragedy struck in one of Oyo State learning citadel. A student died after several hours of torture. His offense was an alleged phone theft. The murder of Prince Jeffrey Akol, a 200-level mechanical engineering student of Ijaodola University, sparked public outcry. The police swung into action and made 25 arrests. On June the 5th, the student aged between 18 and 32 were arraigned before a chief magistrate court here in Ibadan, Magisterial District.
You cannot take them to court without meeting the family. At least the family has the right to know those who murder their son by parading them first. And the school needs to release the full detail of those that are involved. This is the first step to be taken before taking them to the court.
𝐃𝐈𝐒 is one of the concerned Niger Deltans who led a protest to Ibadan. At a press briefing today, he demanded for more answers from the school authorities and the Seyi Makinde government.
That to this moment, not even the school authority have been able to reach out the family. Neither the Oyo State government, not even the Commissioner of Education, not even the governor himself.
Whether or not such answers will be provided, the protesting Niger Delta youth wants the school shut in the meantime. Will this be a tall order? It's not entirely clear.
Postmortem examination as agreed by the police and the family, which shall be witnessed by all parties. This for disclosure of the identity of the culprits. We also demand the total closure of the school till when all this, our demand, is being met.
The 25 suspects are expected back in court in July.
Yes, that special report has given us an insight into the unfortunate incident and those who are advocating for justice to ensure that those behind it are made to face the full wrath of the law. We are expecting some of the concerned individuals to join us on the podium this morning. We have Barrister Clement Omoto, legal counsel to the family of the deceased. We also have Honorable Chukwutem Nwogo, President, Niger Delta Youth Leaders Front, to join us on the conversation on the podium today. We're also expecting I think we have Prince Clem Omotoye with us. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the podium. Great to have you, sir. Please unmute your device. Hello, please unmute your device so we can hear you. Yes, can you hear me now, sir?
Loud and clear, I can hear you. Good
Yes.
morning and thanks for having me.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I mean, my condolences. Very unfortunate incident there. So take us through what has happened since that incident in terms of, response from the state governor or state government rather, or the school authorities, regarding the incident.
Okay, a very brief one. We heard of the sad incidents, and we waited for quite some time before taking the steps to come to the school for first-hand information. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you, sir. I'm with you.
Oh, before taking the step to come to the school for first-hand information, I was part of the delegation that came there. And when we got there, we met with the registrar, who took us through what he was told in his statement. And thereafter, we asked some questions. What actually happened from what he told us was that they were told that a phone went missing. That's by the students, but that a phone went missing. And they all effort to get to where the phone was proved abortive until finally they discovered that money was transferred maybe via the owners of via the phone through the owners of the phone's account, although he didn't mention the account. He said, but they used the phone in making transfer to a bet shop in favor of the deceased. And when they realized that, according to him, it was in the daytime, when they saw that, they accosted the deceased, they questioned him, and he then took them to where he hid the phone. They recovered the phone. All this happened in the daytime. They recovered the phone, after which they went into their various places, so to speak. But later on in the night, they converged and decided to take a swipe to pounce on the deceased. So what they found was he lying, to me, dead at the entrance. Now, while this whole thing was happening in the night, between 10 in the evening, or 9, 10 in the evening, through till about 5, 6 in the morning, while this was the things were happening, a student, as we were briefed by the registrar of the school, a student got wind of the noise, heard of the noise in that room, because it didn't happen in a hostile environment, and went to call a spy security.
So all this information was given to you by the school registrar?
By the registrar of the school.
Okay.
Except for this one that I'm going to say now. which was given to us by the Deputy Commissioner of Police, except this one that I was going to say now. Now, what happened was that one of the students heard of the noise. He went to call a spy police, a spy security rather, of the school, who do not have the authority to assess the hostel. He went to call that one. That one in turn went to call another security who had the authority of assessing the hostel. That one got there. He said he had of the noise no more, that there was no noise. So he left. And according to the registrar, now I'm going to add that of the registrar, the porter that had to be on duty said he worked all through the day, was tired, so he left. He abandoned his duty post. So the two security men, one that was supposed to call the other, he called the other, and nothing happened until they found this boy at the entrance of one of the hostels that is outside the gate now, where the whole thing happened. So when they found him, they rushed him to a clinic who referred them. By the time they got to the other hospital, it was confirmed dead on arrival. So that was the story. And later on that day, we requested to see the corpse of the boy, of our son. We went there. We went to the police, the local police, that is the DPO at Oyo. We went there. They took us to a place, a supposed morgue. By the time we got there, the place is nothing short of an abandoned building. The gigantic, there's this gigantic building behind, whereas there was one small apartment somewhere. And if you look at the gigantic building, it was abandoned, no roof on top even. This other one, this way, they amended a kind of roof on it. In fact, the whole thing was grown with weeds. It is nothing but it depicts an abandoned environment, and it is an abandoned environment. Even if you go there now. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you. Yes.
If you go there now, you will see that the place is an abandoned project. One of them even took us through that it was built by one government, but that when the other government came, they abandoned it. Somebody said so. So we discovered that there was no corpse in the supposed mortuary. It was just only the boy that was lying there, and the place did not represent, did not look like a mortuary. So we got angry. Our people got angry and started asking some questions. But for the chemical with which they embalmed the body, rats would have taken their turn to feast on it. So we are saying, could it be that it was a deliberate attempt to want to thwart maybe investigation? So after we made some noise, the police and the school management came, the registrar was there. They then decided that, okay, what will happen is that they will move the body from there to a better mortuary, so which they did on that day. So we left. Before we left, we left for Ibadan, where we met with the Deputy Commissioner of Police. He was the one that then told us of how one of the security went to call the other. That is his own aspect. So by and large, the people were arrested and for questioning. Now, we had a meeting with the Deputy Commissioner of Police. We agreed that autopsy was going to be carried out. And of course, autopsy has to be done in the presence of all stakeholders. Stakeholders in this sense, the family, the school, the police, all have to be on ground, for which we agreed that the police will have to liaise with the let me use the word court, with the court, so that we can get an approval for autopsy.
Right.
An approval for autopsy. Corona, for corona, we can get an approval with corona, so we can get an approval for autopsy. So we were waiting to no avail. Before we heard from the grapevine yards, we were not even informed that they were charging them to court the next day. And we were wondering. I personally called.
So you were not informed by the school authorities that the suspects were being charged?
We were not informed at all. We were not informed. That was what necessitated the protest that you saw everywhere there. We were never informed. So we just said, how come I have to call some of the officers, the officer in charge of legal department from the state CID, I called her. We spoke, and when she also equally said she was not aware that we were not informed. I said, how come you are going to court? We were not informed, and we were in your office. So we were never informed. But when we got wind of that, as at the time I spoke with the OC legal department, it was even in the night for you to know how late before the news got to us. It was even in the night. So we have to make an impromptu arrangement so that we have to contact a lawyer there in Ibadan who is also a brother anyway. We have to find a way of talking to him, which proved abortive. But fortunately for us, he was in court on that day. That was how he knew of the incident. That was how he represented us.
Right. Please, I want you to hold our thoughts, please. So we need to take this commercial break. When we get back, we finish a line of thoughts. I will also go to our panelists here on the conversation with us, Professor Emi Aide of the University of Ibadan, to also join in the conversation. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment after this break.
Okay.
tí wọ́n bá lo ráyéwá nítorí pé o lówó lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n bá ń tàn ọ́ pọ̀ ráyéwá nítorí dúkìá tó pọ̀ tó ní ọkàn ò tí ì balẹ̀ pọ̀ ráyéwá àlàáfíà lògùn ọrọ̀ ṣáájú ara rẹ o ìlera sílẹ̀ mí gígùn gbogbo àrùn tí ń ṣe ẹ̀dá láyé náà kọ́ láyé fi ń ṣe ni bí dọ̀tí bá pọ̀ lára tí gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì tásẹ̀dá dá bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó kọsẹ́ má fòyà tó bá ṣe bí ẹni rárá tára rẹ ò ṣe déédéé pinnu lóòkàn àyà ara rẹ o Ventolin cleanser ní kò sẹ́mu agbanugbàde fọgẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara dànù Ventolin jagunlabi panko pè ọ̀rẹ́ ara tọmọdé tàgbà tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè lò ọ̀sọ́kùnrin sóbìnrin dò pépé Ventolin cleanser atẹ́jẹsẹ̀ maradan bíi kóròsìn Ventolin cleanser kìkìdé gbòógì tí ò lọ́tínú la fi ṣe ó ti wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà oògùn jákèjádò ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà a sì ń wá alágbàtà fún Ventolin cleanser pé nọ́mbà kò demand 08034051533 08034051533 iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀mí one naturalist care ló ṣe Ventolin cleanser òun láyé tún lò.
Take my pikin.
Mama, you no put milk.
E no need milk. Taste am make you see.
How you do am?
E dey milky.
Well.
E dey creamy.
Yes o.
Na Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy be that for you. E dey milky I no need add more milk.
I love am, Mama.
Make you give your pikin the new Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy. E dey milky well and e get calcium to help your champion to dey win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
gbogbo kọ́lékọ́lé àtàgbàlékọ́ ẹ̀ wá gbọ́n tí mo fẹ́ wí àlàyé tó wà nínú rẹ̀ ní kẹ́ ẹ bá ń fetí sí. torí pàlàyé inú rẹ̀ ní selọ́dà bíi abc. pàtàkì lílo òrùlé jẹ̀rá roofing system ló tí mo fẹ́ wí. òrùlé jẹ̀rá di tó jójúlówó kì í ti ṣá tàbí pàwọ̀dà. bẹ́ẹ̀ o lè gbọ́ ṣàrẹ̀ṣàrẹ̀ òjò lábẹ́ òrùlé jẹ̀rá di. bóòrùn ràn minimini lábẹ́ ilé tẹ́ bá fi òrùlé jẹ̀rá di bùọ́ máa tutù. ó tún bu ẹwà òun yìí kọ́lé tí ó sì gbé yọ sóńbẹ̀. láti wá ra ojúlówó òrùlé jẹ̀rá lẹ́dínwó pátápátá. Laola Mega Top Concept Limited lasojú àtàlágbàtà kan gbòógì lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe Gerard roofing system tó jẹ́ stone coated látòrílẹ̀‐èdè New Zealand tó wá pẹ̀lú warranty 50 ọdún gbáko lọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ nílò láti dààmú lọ sílùú Èkó mọ́. àwọn kọ́lékọ́lé àtàgbálẹ́kọ́ tí wọ́n mọ yìí ń dáradára ni wọ́n mú di trọ́ọ̀kì wọlé sí Laola Mega Top Concept Limited Adex Road Orogun Express òpópónà márosẹ̀ Ọ̀jọ́ nílùú Ìbàdàn ni wọ́n kalẹ̀ sí 08185481113.
32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back to the podium on 32 FM 94.9. On the second part of the show, we're doing an update on the unfortunate incident with the killing of a Jai Crowther University student. We have Barrister Clement Omotoye with us, the legal counsel to the family. Please, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Please finish your line of thought before we went on that break.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
So, finally, we had someone that was on grant that was in court for another matter, and he has to represent us at least. Let there be someone there. So, that was what happened thus far. And so, thereafter, the agitation, people started asking questions. How come? What is it? Is it that this whole thing are deliberately done so much so that they want to frustrate the family or what? This was what aggravated the situation. Otherwise, if you follow up, you'll see that this whole thing happened for quite some time without any any opera. Nobody
So
from the family.
if I can understand you clearly, sir, you're saying that it looks like there is an attempt by the school authorities to shoot some information from the family of the deceased. That's what you're saying, sir.
Exactly. That is our line of thought.
Okay,
that was
sir.
what necessitated the protest that you saw around the place.
Okay.
Particularly the fact that this was, although the registrar went to Abuja to make attempt to see the mother of the deceased, but again, a quick one there. The Yoruba people has it as an adage that the cost of the child is usually too heavy for the parents. When such thing happened, it is very funny that you go face to face with the mother of the child rather than trying to look for some family members to see that they come harvest.
Right. But Barrister, please hold that thought. Let me quickly welcome Honorable 𝐶𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐑, the President, Nigeria Delta Youth Leaders Front. Thank you for joining us, sir, on the podium. Good morning. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh. Can you hear me? Okay, it appears it's not with us. Hello, sir.
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes. Okay, so you listen to the legal counsel. It says that it looks like there's an attempt, from the school authority to cover up or shoot information from the family members. Do you share that sentiment as well?
100%.
Okay.
And if I'm allowed to throw some light on that, why I align myself completely with him. If are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, sir. I'm with you.
Okay. If such magnitude of issue or call in an institution, there must be some certain sign of remorselessity from the leadership of that institution. There's some certain sign of regrettable action, because it means that their security arrangement in the school totally failed. It means that those that are in charge of the hostel totally failed. So the school should first of all hide their face in shame by taking some certain drastic decision without making people to come into protest.
What decision do you think they should have taken? What decision do you think they should have taken?
They will close down the school and ask everybody, all the students, to go back to their parents for safety. But activities were 100% going on. The same hostel that is already in a bad shape, the students are still there. And I also expected the NUC to sink into action to save their face. Because the hostel does not meet up a standard for anybody to keep a pig, not to talk of a human.
Okay, let me please.
It's also expected that the Commissioner of Education in that state will swing into action by visiting that place.
Okay.
So every arms, including the school management, including NUC, including the government of Oyo State, that the Commissioner of Police, they all failed. That's why you see this kind of reactions.
Okay.
From here and there.
Let me bring in one of our panelists, Professor Remi Ayede of the University of Ibadan. Prof, let's quickly get your thoughts on this conversation. I mean, you are in the university community. You've been in the university community for many years. When things like this happen, what do you expect from the institution in terms of a response mechanism in such a way that the family won't feel the way the family is feeling right now, that is kind of an attempt to cover up or shoot information from them?
Yeah, let me first of all express my sympathy and condolences to the family, its friends and relatives. It's really an unfortunate incident. And it is understandable that a drastic measure is expected. We are talking about the life, the death of a human being, a student who has been part and parcel of that university community. Business cannot go on as usual, as if nothing has happened. It's supposed to also get to the students to recognize the gravity of that particular incident. But apparently, keeping the school going and behaving as if nothing significant has happened seems to have been the choices that the authorities have made, and this is very unfortunate. The certainty of human life, the pricelessness of human life, it should be a great value within the university system. And I at the least we can expect is that the university authority will show that you can't have somebody killed, by fellows, and then you keep the school running. Remember the incident in those secondary schools in Lagos, Chrisland and all of
Yes, yes.
The school was shut down by the government, the Lagos state government. So I don't understand why such a murderous incident will happen in the school, such a breakdown of security will happen, and then business as usual. I think something drastic has to be done. Because the school has to be shut down until appropriate security arrangements have been put in place, and there is some kind of orientation or campaign to let the students know that such kinds of behavior are not acceptable within the community. I mean, the basic university regulation is that you can't even fight on campus.
Yes.
Not to talk of injuring somebody or creating that kind of bodily harm or up to the point of death. So I think there's a failure here by the authorities, and they've not done sufficiently well enough, both for the students and then also for the family. Because what signals are they sending, to the students that they can just kill somebody and school will go on? I think there's a failure of leadership at various levels.
Right.
And it's also like we see the case of Lagos State, a secondary school. The government came and took a drastic action. We also expect Oyo State government to also take some steps.
Right.
And I think this is where there's a challenge.
Yes. Honorable, let me come back to you now. I was asking the barrister earlier about the court case, and he says that the family was not even informed. Because when I first saw the story of the court case, I thought that, okay, this school authority was willing to ensure that those suspects were, given the trial and brought to justice. Why do you think that they would proceed to charge the suspect to court without informing the family members? Honorable, yes.
Like if you listen to my interview on Arise TV, I told them that the school, the Oyo State government and the police, they are all shooting on video. It's all about drama. First of all, in life, you take things step by step. Where are the details of those students? Where are they from? Who are these students? Have you sat with the family? Have you unveiled the details of this student that committed such? So the student the school management is not being fair. They're not being straight. There's more to it. And I will tell you for free, we are putting all our things together. We, the Niger Delta Youth Leadership Front, we are going to sue the school for conspiracy. And we're also going to extend it to your state government. Because this cannot be happening, and you tell me that a whole institution, including the NUC, they cannot swing into action and do the appropriate thing. So it's a very sad situation.
Let me just state here clearly that we tried reaching out to the school authority, but they declined comment. So we hope that they'll be ready for a response, in the next edition of the program, just to balance things out. But let me quickly go to Barrister now. You were talking about, what you felt was a contradictory information from the registrar and the Deputy Commissioner of Police here in Oyo State. Would you, shed more light on that? Because you said that the information she gave you, eventually when you heard from the Deputy Commissioner of Police, you heard something more detailed from him than what the registrar gave you.
No. The only aspect that I only said that the registrar did not tell us that aspect of how that one of the security men that the student went to call, the student who heard all the noise in the next door room, so to speak, went to call, has no authority to go into the hostel premises. So he or she later went to call the one that has authority. I said the school registrar didn't tell us that aspect. It is not to mean that I'm apportioning blame, but he didn't tell us that aspect of the story.
Okay.
So it was the discipline told us that. Again, let me quick to add here that when we met with the registrar of the school, he told us that ordinarily they would have shut down the school, but that the reason why they didn't shut it down is for quick investigation, that in the event that they want to question some of these boys, they can easily have access to them. But where I differ with him, where I have problem with him is this. Like one of us said now, even if you leave them there in the campus without the normal or regular activities going on in the school, heavens will not fall. In a situation where you leave them there as if nothing has happened, in the morning they go to their different place of assignment and all that, as if nothing has happened, it gives room for speculations. So that is the problem. Taking into account the fact that after we met with the police and we had a meeting in the DCP's office, we were told that they'll be carrying out autopsy. The IPO was mandated before all of us to go and get an approval to meet with the coroner so that approval can be gotten for autopsy. That had not been done. All that we had on the night or the eve of the day that they were going to court was that these people the culprits have been charged to court. So we are wondering. And by the time we read the charge now, we saw that the school, just like this honorable has said now, the school is not part of it. I don't know of anybody who told us that corporate entities cannot be charged for criminal or cannot be charged. As far as I am concerned, they are vicariously liable because the moment your employees failed in their duty, there is total collapse in your structure, or how will I put it, the system failure. You are vicariously liable. So I don't know of anybody that has told us that the school cannot be charged alongside this corporate, because the school itself, as far as I am concerned, they have so much to tell us. If you employ someone that is an incompetent person to man certain positions, the end result is this. The registrar equally told us that the porter that ought to be on duty was not there. Where was he or she? Why did he evade his duty post? It speaks volume to us. They all left their duty post, invaded their duty post to enable the execution of this act.
Right.
It was because from in the daytime that they said, according to them, this whole thing happened because there was this rumor news of a phone went missing. And I don't think there is no law in this land that vests the power of taking of lives, of even inflicting injury on anybody, assuming without considering that there is even a culprit.
Barrister, we're almost wrapping up. Let me quickly go to Honorable now. You mentioned that you suing the school authority. I mean, my condolences once again. What other action are you taking to ensure that justice is served? Because I can't imagine how the family, the ordeal they are going through right now, the relatives and everything. I cannot imagine it. So what else what effort are you making to ensure that justice is done aside suing the school authority?
Thank you so much. Yes. We made some certain demands a few days ago, and our demands stated clearly that we'll watch the activities of the school. If they don't cooperate within 7 days, then we'll take our decision. We don't need to tell anybody what we want to do, but the most important thing is that we are putting all documents together. We are going to sue the school for conspiracy. We're also going to sue the Commissioner of Education of your state for not being proactive, for not being active. As a Commissioner of Education, that such private school is under you and such acts happen for over 7 days, 2 weeks, you are not even consigned to visit the scene of the place. So we also asking the governor to sack him. He does not have what it takes to serve the people, the masses. I believe that the prerogative of every governance is secure life and property. So if you have failed from your duty post, you have to be relieved.
Right. Thank you, sir. Let me quickly go to Prof as a wrap up. Prof, for your final thought, especially, let's speak to the failure of, the institution generally in terms of Nigeria as a country, because we've had cases like this in secondary schools in Lagos. I remember the case of Stephen Oromoni. I remember all kinds of cases like that, really. I mean, to what extent has our system failed us, because when you look at public institutions, we know the kind of challenges there. But with all of this also happening in private secondary school, even private universities now, does it speak to the larger context of a failed society?
Absolutely. I like the word you use, failed society, not the failed state concept. Because, we underestimate the importance of values in our society. Value for the sanctity of human life, sense of responsibility, people recognizing the fact that there should be sanctions if one fails to do his duty, and so on and so forth. And I think this is one way the negative impact of such loss of value is manifesting. And it's important for us to also recognize the fact that institutions like the universities are actually carriers of value, and they are supposed to represent the finite values of our society. That it is happening in the university is really very sad indeed. And we hope that the University Authority will take steps, especially also remember that school is also a faith-based institution.
Yes.
Which makes it doubly serious. So we hope that in the next couple of days, we have a much more responsible reaction or behavior regarding this incident. And measures, in fact, must be taken to ensure that such incidents do not reoccur. And that's very important, because if you treat this incident with kid gloves, then, of course, you'll be ready for something more dangerous. Because we are talking about young people, exuberant young people, who need guidance, who need strong measures in terms of recognizing the gravity of the offense that has been committed. And I think we can't paper over this. We have to go to ensure that justice is done.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much, Honorable and Prince Clem Omotoye, for joining us. My condolences once again. Thank you so much for joining us on the podium. Thank you, listener, for being a part of the conversation. We'll be back again next Saturday on the podium on 32 FM 94.9. My name is Laurent Toba Yusuf. Special thanks to my producer, Agbolabo Femosko. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning. Bye for now.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM.
Ìkànnì adẹ́rìn-pòṣónú.
32 FM. The Pioneer Joy Station.
32 FM.
The station admired by other radio stations. 32 FM. Baby.
One tagline is never enough. 32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Are you ready? Check 1 2, check 1 2. You're tuned into 32 FM 94.9. The first station dedicated to bringing you joy, happiness, and laughter. Get ready for radio like you never thought was possible. Possible on the Pioneer Joy Station, 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM 94.9. Ibẹ̀ sálà wà wàyí. FM